We have made it to the trade deadline here in year number 2 of the Denver Broncos franchise here on Madden 25. And our team is in an interesting spot because obviously the season hasn't necessarily been great. But coming off a win last week against the New York Giants and now sitting at a record of 3-5, maybe there's some room to try to make a move to better this team for the short term while obviously keeping the long-term outlook as a focus as well. We split our last 2 matchups against the Chiefs and the Giants. Our game against Kansas City propelled us to a 5-game losing streak that we snapped in this matchup against New York. Nonetheless, it's clear this team has some obvious problems, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. We have the 30th ranked scoring offense in the league currently, and much of that has been because of the passing game. Bo Nix has not taken a step forward this year, but it's also not really his fault. Now, Ashton Jeanty leading the ground game has been quite productive, but that's really been the only positive offensively. The play from the receivers has not been good. Tez Johnson's been a bright spot, but overall, drop passes, not getting open, hasn't been pretty. And then the offensive line, I know the stats don't look too bad, but Bo Nix has been under constant pressure, consistently having to throw out of sacks, throw the ball away, and not go through his progressions down the field. Now, defensively, we have improved from last year. Nick Bonitto and Baron Browning have been unbelievably good. Bonitto is the frontrunner for AFC Defensive Player of the Year, and deservedly so. 12 TFLs, 6.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Along with him and Browning, we've gotten good contributions from guys like Drew Sanders, of course the rookies, Marvin Grant and Jeffrey Bassa, and the first-rounder Michael Williams is coming along a little bit as well. I don't think we necessarily have to focus on selling because we don't need draft capital. We got the Jets' first-round pick in a draft day deal last year, and whether or not we end up using a quarterback with our top pick, we could always move down with the other first-rounders. So it's not like getting draft capital is a necessity, but there are still some veterans on this roster who might be better suited elsewhere, who we can get some value for, particularly looking at these expiring contracts. Obviously, Nick Bonitto's off the table, but pretty much everyone else is fair game, including Courtland Sutton, and I think it would potentially make sense to move off of him because we've got some young talent at receiver with Tez Johnson, Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims will be back next week after the bye, and as we look at Sutton, he's been pretty good throughout this series, but he's on the last year of his deal. He's going to be turning 30 next year, and he's already beginning to regress. And had a 1,000-yard season a year ago, but his play has been a little worse this year, albeit he had a 90-yard touchdown taken off the board against Jacksonville because of a penalty that was not his fault. But nonetheless, he's not really a guy who I see in our long-term plans, and I think moving him here might make sense. The 2 teams who I think would work are New England and the Rams. New England has some young talent at receiver, but I think they could use a reliable veteran for Drake May, and obviously they've been pretty good this year. And then the Rams are super banged up out wide, and they could use a third guy to complement Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp anyway. Sutton gives them something they don't already have. So I think this is the landing spot that makes the most sense. And I think adequate value for Sutton would probably be something along the lines of a 5th-round pick. Keep in mind the draft classes in this series are juiced compared to normal Madden drafts. So because of that, day 3 picks are valued more than they would be normally. And with that, Courtland Sutton is no longer a Bronco. He's headed to the Rams. But I'm not done. I want to make an addition to the offensive line. It's been our big weakness this year, and I looked around at a few guys around the NFL. I think Ike Ekwonu could make sense. The Panthers did just draft Josh Connerly out of Oregon in the 3rd round last year. Ekwonu's going to be on the 5th-year option next season, but he doesn't have an extension, and this regime did not draft him. They're not tied to him per se. Zach Tom is on the last year of his deal in Green Bay, and Jordan Morgan may be able to slide over to left tackle, but Green Bay's 7-0. I don't think they would want to trade away their starting left tackle in what could be a Super Bowl year. Looking at the Browns, they've obviously not been quite good this year once again. Projected they had the 5th pick in the 1st round. And both of their starting guards, Joel Bitonio and Wyatt Teller, are on the last years of their contracts. And with them both being a little bit older and Zach Zinter being here, it could make sense for them to potentially move one. I think Joel Bitonio probably makes a little bit more sense for both sides. He's the older of the group, so he's going to cost less. But he's a good player who can be a stopgap starter for us for the rest of the year at least. We're going to trade a 6 and a 7 to get that done. So Bitonio will start at left tackle. Ben Powers will move to the bench. And we're also going to bench Mike McGlinchey, our starting right tackle, for Nick Gargiulo. I thought he showed some good things last year, and I want to get him back in the starting lineup. Some of these big offensive line contracts really have not aged well. Ben Powers is on a big deal. He is now a backup. Mike McGlinchey's now a backup. Quinn Miners hasn't played well. But those are going to be our two moves. And now let's take a look at some trades across the rest of the NFL. The Browns are not done selling. They'll be trading away Greg Newsome to the Chargers for a third-rounder. Remember, last year, these two teams made a pretty big deal at the deadline with Amari Cooper. And now, they're trade partners once again. Jalen Phillips is going to the 49ers, a team looking to add some pass rush. The Dolphins will be getting 2 4s back. Phillips, another guy on the last year of his contract. But the Niners are also going to be selling a little bit as well. They're sort of towards the middle of the standings. They want to retool their roster. They're trading Deebo Samuel to New England for a 4th and a 5th. So the Patriots do add a high-end veteran receiver for Drake May. Ryan Ramczyk going to the Rams for a 4th. He joins forces with Courtland Sutton in L.A. Kevin Byard going to the Panthers for a 6 and a 7. Carolina's been good this year, but they could use a little bit more in the back end. And then Orlando Brown is going to the Niners. Another deal for San Francisco. Trent Williams retired. They are starting undrafted rookie Tristan Lee at left tackle. So I think it's fair to say they could use an upgrade. And Brown really doesn't have a role for the Bengals as they drafted Holland Pierce in the first round out of Rutgers to play left tackle. So those are going to be our moves around the rest of the NFL. A busy deadline for us. The Niners made 3 moves. The Rams made 2. And within our division, the Chargers, who we're going to be playing against this week, add Greg Newsome. They beat us back in week 4, and they've been a little inconsistent this year, but they're coming off a nice win against the Raiders. Keep in mind, our bye week is coming up. I don't know if that's going to help or hurt us, but it's worth noting. Since we only played these guys a few weeks ago, we obviously know this team pretty well. They will be without Amari Cooper, though, a big loss on the offense. But, of course, they add Greg Newsome to what is already a pretty talented secondary, led by guys such as Derwin James, Elohi Gilman, and Asante Samuel Jr. So it should be a fun matchup here. The Chargers, a team who we swept a year ago, we're looking to avoid getting swept as we're currently 0-3 within the division. The Chargers, if you remember, lost big to the Raiders earlier in the year, 30-0. But the Bolts got revenge by beating them last week, and we're hoping to do the same here on the road. 2nd and 3, play action. Herbert looks deep for the rookie Nesbitt, and it's broken up by Nick Bonito. Why is our defensive player of the year edge rusher in coverage? Odd. 3rd and 3 now for the Chargers. Herbert looks to throw it, looking downfield. It is broken up by Patrick Surtain, and the Denver defense forces a 3 and out within 17 seconds, and we'll get it here on offense. These 9 games for the rest of the season will likely determine if Bo Nix is going to be the starting quarterback here going forward, with it being a loaded quarterback class and with us likely having one of the top picks in the draft from the Jets. We'll have an opportunity to replace him, and he's got to play really well the rest of the way to ensure that, well, he keeps his job. Short throw for Jency. He loses 2, and somebody's hurt. Please don't tell me it is who I think it is. This team cannot have nice things. We had him for 1 play. Joel Bitonio going to the locker room. It's a bruised sternum. His day is done, and after just 1 play, the Joel Bitonio era will have to wait at least a week, or I guess 2 weeks because of the bye. 3rd and 10 now. Nix looks to throw it, goes short. It is caught, but shy of the yard to gain, as Tez Johnson is ramped up by Dian Henley, the 3rd-year linebacker out of Washington State. And so that'll lead to a 3 and out, and the Chargers get it. Play action on 1st down. Herbert looks to throw it, rolls out to the right, and he is sacked on the play by Baron Browning. The sack numbers haven't been all that high for Browning, but he has been a terrific complement off the edge to Nick Bonito. He's been a terrific run defender, constantly sending pressure as a pass rusher, just hasn't been able to finish sacks. 3rd and 15, it is jarred away by Surtain, looking for Josh Palmer. Surtain's off to a good start today. He hasn't played very well since his big contract extension. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come. Denver back with it, 3rd and 6, play action. Nix looks to throw it. It is broken up, looking for Franklin. And so far, through 4 combined drives, neither team has gotten a 1st down yet. Chargers back with it, looking to end the drought. 3rd and 9 from the 32-yard line. Herbert taking his time, will look to throw it. Under pressure, hit as he throws. It's caught by the rookie Nesbitt. Had a great game when these 2 teams met back in week 4. But he only gets a couple, wrapped up by Chris Abrams' drain. Another 3 and out, another punt. 3rd and 7, Nix goes short. It is Johnson, and he is stopped shy of the yard to gain. Ricardo Hallman, the rookie, with the tackle. Another 3 and out, another punt. We are 7 minutes into the game. There have been no 1st downs. This game has set football back by about 50 years. What in the Iowa Hawkeyes am I watching? 2nd and 4. Herbert has time, looks downfield. Grant loses his footing. Stevenson all alone. It's caught in the end zone for a touchdown. The first down of the entire game ends up being a long touchdown for the Chargers. Marvin Grant was with him, but then he lost his footing as Denver gets it back, and they finally will get their first down of the game with Ashton Jeanty, who gets around 16 yards, bringing it to the 42. Only took us 4 drives to get one. And now it's another 3rd down, 3rd and 10. Nick's under pressure, connects with Dulcich, who takes a big hit, but hangs on. Dulcich has had a case of the dropsies throughout the year, but a good job there retaining possession on that one. 3rd and 3, it's Jeanty, the rookie, and he will get it. Look at him running through dudes. Gets around 10 or 11 yards. I don't know how he pulled that one off, but he does. Now with 20 seconds left in the quarter, play action. Nick's under pressure. He is sacked by Dante Fowler Jr. They're going to give James Houston half a sack as well. I don't know why, but that'll wrap up the first quarter. 7-0 lead for the Chargers. It's been tough sledding for both offenses, but hey, we're finally moving it on our 4th drive of the game. We're getting a little something going here, but the sack certainly sets things back. That was not supposed to rhyme, but oh well. Call me Shakespeare. 2nd and 18. Under pressure, it's picked off. Junior Colson with the interception, and the Chargers get possession back. It was a risky throw by Nix. He probably should have gone a little bit shorter for Dulcich. He was looking for Tez Johnson to maybe get a few extra yards, but the path of that ball was clearly impacted by the hit and the pressure, and if Bo Nix never got pressured, that would not have ended up as an interception. So the offensive line continues to be an issue as that drive comes to an end with Denver stalling, allowing the turnover. Chargers back with it. Herbert. That one is dropped by Brian Asamoah. He could have returned the favor, gotten an interception of his own. We've had a few dropped interceptions early in this game. As it's 2nd and 10, Herbert looks to throw it up the middle. He's got Palmer with a 1st down, and he brings it to the 42-yard line. Nice play on the slant route for the Canadian, Joshua Palmer. Now from the 47-yard line, 2nd and 10, Herbert all alone in the backfield. The Chargers getting a nice little drive together. They only had 1 first down in the first quarter, and that, of course, was the long touchdown by Ramondre Stevenson. Herbert steps up. He connects with Ladd McConkey, who gets the 1st down, and I'm quite sure that it was Riley Moss who brought him down. From the 35 now, it's going to be a screen, but Herbert can't get rid of it. Michael Williams, the rookie out of Georgia, with his 3rd sack of the year. I feel like he's gotten better as the season has gone along. Still has been inconsistent, but he is a 21-year-old rookie. It's going to take time. 3rd and 9, Herbert sails it for the end zone. Boink, incomplete. Riley Moss in coverage on Ladd McConkey. 2 guys who play with a lot of grit. First guy in, last guy out. Sneaky athletes, blue-collar type of players. As the field goal is blocked, Savon Revel, the rookie out of Eastern Carolina, got a hand on it, and it remains 7-0. A big play there for Revel, who's had a few splash moments. Here is a rookie, now gets the play on special teams, and it remains a 1-score game. Golden opportunity here for our offense to respond as Jeanty gets it up the middle. Nice 1st down run for the rookie out of Boise State. 5 carries, 45 yards. Quick start here in this one for Jeanty. 2nd and 7 now. Nix looks short. He's got an open man, and Harrison Whaley drops it. Could have been a gain of 20 if he held on to that football. Whaley's played a couple games for us. I think he's looked really good, but that was bad. Jeanty gets it on 3rd and 7, trying to catch the Chargers off guard, and it works. Runs for the 1st down as he gets around 8, continuing his excellent first half. 3:20 to go in the first half. Nick scrambles to the left side. Under pressure, can't find anybody, so he's going to run. Scrambles out of bounds at the 19-yard line, and Denver's got a nice little drive together. We'll see if this time they can actually score, though. 1st and 10. Looking, end zone, wide open. It's Tez Johnson. The brotherly connection strikes for a touchdown, and this game is tied up. So on that play, before the snap, Bo Nix recognized that with the 2 receivers on the left side, there were only 2 defensive backs. And if they were to be in man coverage, Tez Johnson would be probably wide open in the end zone. And that's exactly what happened. He wins the rep against Ricardo Hallman. And then from there, it's barbecue chicken. Chargers get it back after the 2-minute warning. It's R.J. Harvey, the rookie, wide open. Takes it the distance for a touchdown. and the Chargers are right back ahead. So again, another long touchdown for one of these running backs. We're trying to run the ball here late in the first half. That time it doesn't work. Genty is wrapped up by Marley Cook, the 5th-round rookie out of Miami. Very impactful rookie class that these Chargers have, even on day 3 with the touchdown by Harvey. Marley Cook's been around the backfield. We do get the first down conversion, though. Josh Reynolds brings it to the 41. With Courtland Sutton gone, I think we could see a bigger role here this year for Reynolds, who has spent most of the year injured. From the 50, 2nd and 1. Nix looks to throw it under pressure, has an open man. It's Tez Johnson into the red zone. He gets 31. A busy start for Tez Johnson. 5 catches, 67 yards, as the rookie out of Oregon continues to be a standout for this offense. 44 seconds now. Genty with the handoff. We're trying to catch him off guard with the run plays on this drive, but it is just not working. It's a loss of yardage there, and now it's a 3rd and 7 with the undrafted rookie Whaley in the backfield. Nix looks to throw it, goes short. It's caught by Johnson, his 6th catch of the game, goes for a first down to the 6. We're going to go no huddle rather than use that last timeout, but look at the clock. There's 5 seconds left. We got to run a play quick. Nix, end zone, touchdown! Greg Dulcich makes the play, and this game is tied up. That could have gone horribly bad. I really don't know why they got to the line of scrimmage so quickly. And when I saw the clock was at 5 seconds, the game plan was get rid of the ball ASAP. And if the pass is not caught, we have to hope that there's a second left so we can kick the field goal. But hey, that works too. We had to make it a little dramatic at the end. But we get the touchdown, and this game is tied at 14. An ugly start on offense. We did not score in each of our first 4 drives. But talk about rebounding. Back-to-back huge drives and a pair of passing touchdowns by Bo Nix. But the Chargers with a couple of big plays keeping this game knotted up as we take a look at our halftime report across the rest of the NFL. We'll start things off with the current MVP frontrunner, Anthony Richardson, who leads the Colts here against the Jaguars. It's a 3-horse race in the AFC South. These two and Houston are all having strong seasons. But it would be Anthony Richardson, the MVP frontrunner, who would lead his Colts team to victory with this touchdown reception by Josh Downs, who has played a huge role in the development of Anthony Richardson. As the Colts win this game 21-13, they improved to 6-3. Not a particularly great game from Richardson. He wasn't bad, but he did throw 2 interceptions, but nonetheless, he does so with a victory. Bills at the Bucks. I would like to introduce everybody to the Torture Chamber. 9 receptions, 128 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Greg Dortch. Bills win in a blowout, 49-13, with a huge performance through the air from Josh Allen, who throws for 4 scores himself. The Bills have been a little bit underwhelming, though, this year. They're only 4-4. They were also kind of mediocre last season. I'm wondering if Sean McDermott's seat is getting a little bit warmer, but if Josh Allen plays like this, well, he's a lot more likely to keep his job. And in Houston, an upset alert from earlier today. There's been a lot of bad with Will Levis, but there's some good as well. Look at this play on the run. Connects with the rookie Elijah Badger, who had a huge game. 12 catches for 141 yards and a touchdown for the 4th rounder out of the University of Florida. As the Titans upset the Texans 24-21. Tennessee's had some very competitive losses as of recent. They finally get back on the win column. And this means if the Jets lose this week, they will be in sole possession of the number 1 pick. But obviously the Jets don't own their pick because we do. So the more Titan wins for us, the better. Tighten up! As that brings us to the second half. Overall, I feel like we've been the better team. We've had 2 very strong back-to-back offensive drives. Over those last 2 possessions, Bo Nix actually had time to throw it. And when he has time, you see what he can do? He was able to go through his progressions, stretch the field, and make some big throws. Defensively, I think we've held up pretty well, too. It's just that we've allowed a couple of really big plays. So if we limit those, we can certainly position ourselves to win this game as Audric Estime runs for the first down near the 50, giving him some touches as well behind Whaley and obviously Ashton Genty. 3rd and 9, short throw is caught. Franklin will get the first down. Good job by Troy Franklin to fight for some extra yardage before being wrapped up by Ricardo Hallman. 2nd and 5, Whaley. That ball's out. It's a fumble. Still on the ground. It's picked up by the Chargers. Ricardo Hallman, the 2nd rounder from Wisconsin, scoops it up. That ball was on the ground seemingly forever. Went off of like multiple players. Morgan Moses had a chance to pick it up, but he didn't. Trey Hendrickson, acquired in a deal in the offseason with the Bengals, is the one with the force. And then look at the ball. Kept on going. Now, according to that replay, I don't really think he fumbled it. I thought he was down, but we can't review it for whatever reason. Here's another look, and I think at this angle, it's really close, maybe too close to overturn, but it's definitely worth a challenge. So, EA, what's going on here? I want to throw the red flag because I'm not so sure that that's a fumble, but unfortunately, we cannot. Ball up top, Chargers with possession, flag on the play. Herbert, boink, boink, incomplete. How many dropped interceptions is this team going to have? On that play, we had 2 alone. Now, luckily, they will move back with a holding call, but had we gotten the interception, we would have just gotten the ball back. Bryson Nesbitt, the rookie out of UNC, has been a lot quieter than he was in the first matchup, called for the penalty. 3rd and 18, Herbert under pressure. He is sacked by guess who? Nick Bonito, 7.5 on the year as he wins the rep against Rashawn Slater. Now wearing number 15, by the way. That's what he wears in real life, so I figured that's what we'll give to him here. I think 15 looks clean on him as the Broncos get it back. Still tied at 14. Nix on the run, under pressure, outruns the defensive lineman, and he gets the first down past the 40. Good hustle there by Bo Nix. And again, when he has time, we saw him last year really impress as a scrambler. Up the middle on first down, it's Reynolds. He'll keep the chains moving. And I feel like overall, other than the fumble on the last drive, the offense actually is in kind of a groove for really one of the first times all year. There's Whaley. He gets it to the 33-yard line, looking to rebound after a bad drop, and now the fumble. It's been a rough one for Whaley. From the 19, Nix goes short, and, well, there's another drop. So much for me talking him up. It was a little bit behind Troy Franklin, but he still should have caught it. 2nd and 10, Nix under pressure, hit as he throws. There's a nice catch. It's Troy Franklin, and give credit to Bo Nix going back to his guys even after making mistakes. That was a harder catch to make than the last one, but he actually held on. 3rd and inches, Estime is stopped. Diane Henley brings him down, and we could go for the lead here with a chip shot field goal from 27, but on 4th and 1, when you're that close, punch it in. Genty gets the first down, shrugs off the tackle, he's in for a touchdown, his 9th of the year, that's 2nd in the NFL, only behind Josh Jacobs. On that play, we were just trying to get a couple of yards, but Ashton Genty says, screw that. He throws Derwin James off of him. That's no scrub. Derwin James is one of the more intimidating defensive players in the NFL, and Ashton Genty, the 21-year-old rookie, just had no regard for human life. 7-point game. Herbert is sacked again. Michael Williams, his 2nd of the game. Another really productive afternoon from the pass rush. Last year, this part of our team was a weakness. This year, it continues to be a strength. 21-14. Denver with the lead going into the 4th quarter. And again, I want to give this defense more credit. Obviously, the 2 big plays really were not ideal. But other than the 2 long touchdown receptions by Stevenson and Harvey, the Chargers offense has gotten nothing going otherwise. Now, we do need to come down with some of these easy interceptions. We've dropped, again, like 6 today, it feels like. 3rd and 11 to start the 4th. Herbert runs with it, and he slides for a gain of 5. As soon as I started to see him scramble, I knew he was never going to have a chance with multiple players in the area. As the offense returns, big touchdown on the last drive for Ashton Genty. He's played a terrific game. And we'll see if he can keep it going here early in the 4th. Looking to chew some clock. He's going to get heavily involved most likely as he gets it on the outside. And Derwin James is looking for revenge. Brings him down for a loss of around 4 yards as it's now 2nd down and 14 for the Bronco offense. Nix will send it back to Genty to the left side with blocks. Outruns Colson. Trucks Alohi Gilman. Puts him on his back. What a run by Ashton Genty. He is abusing these poor defensive players. 2nd and 10, it's a screen for Genty. He gets a nice block for Miners. Gets the first down. Boom! Stiff arms another defender. Gets the first, but unfortunately, Genty is hurt on the play. This physical brand of running has backfired. And for a running back room that's been decimated by injuries this year, now our star goes down. As on 3rd and 6, Nix fumbles it. Tuli Pelotu picks it up. And he's got it down the field, tracked down by Whaley at the 12. Tui Pelotu basically sacked him with one hand, picked the ball up off the ground and makes the play, and now he is hurt and going to the locker room. That's 3 turnovers today for the Denver offense, and we'll see if the Chargers can punch it in and tie this game. The big man in motion here on first down from the 2. Stevenson going backwards. Good start to the drive. It's Jonah Ellis who brings him down. Now a 3rd and goal at the 3. They ran it on second down, only got around a yard or so. Play clock winding down, 4.5 to go. Back to Stevenson. I don't know where he's going. The vision on that run was horrible. P.J. Locke and Jordan Davis bring him down to the line of scrimmage, and the Chargers, being down by 7, are going to go for it. They ran it on first down, didn't get it. Ran it on second down, didn't get it. Ran it on third down, didn't get it. Pass it on fourth down, and it's a sack! Brian Asamoah brings down Justin Herbert, and the Denver defense keeps the Chargers off the board at the goal line to keep the lead. But now we've got to choose some clock. 3rd and 4. It's a screen, but it's incomplete. We wanted to go for the short pass, get Whaley in space, and even if he didn't get it, at the very least, the clock would keep going. But with the pressure, Nix has to throw out of the sack, and the clock stops. 2-minute warning, 7-point game. Here's Nesbitt with the first down, hit hard by Chris Abrams' drain. So even though the Chargers choked in the red zone on their last drive, they're back at around the 15 at 2nd and inches. Handoff for Ramondre Stevenson. Bounces off a blocker, gets the first down to the 7, and now it's like we're right back to square one. The Chargers back in the red zone with another chance to score, and they have no reason to try to move quickly. They're going to let some of this clock go. 1st and goal. Herbert, quick throw, caught by Quentin Johnston, and he is close. Gets around 6. Chargers got to call a timeout. Kevin Zeitler, the right guard, is hurt. Big loss for them, and they also have to stop the clock. 2nd and goal. Stevenson does not get it. Brian Asamoah brings him down, and now it's 3rd and goal with 40 seconds to go. Herbert looks to throw it. End zone. Touchdown! Quentin Johnston ties it at 21. 7th time's the charm, I guess. And this one is knotted up, and now we need a quick drive from Bo Nix and the offense. 33 seconds at the 22-yard line, but we've got all 3 timeouts, and all we would theoretically need to win is a field goal. On first down, Nix looks to throw it under some pressure, and he misfires for Harrison Whaley as Will Lutz warms up on the sideline. It says his target is the 42. I would feel more comfortable if we were like at the 32 or something. 2nd and 10, under 30 seconds to go. Nix looks deep. He's got the rookie, Savion Williams, who gets by James. Down the field. Nobody in front of him. 10, 5, touchdown! Savion Williams into the end zone with no flags. And the Broncos take the lead with 19 seconds to go. A 78-yard touchdown pass from Bo Nix to the undrafted rookie out of TCU, Savion Williams. Williams is not the fastest. I'm a little worried that he was going to get caught at the end, but luckily he was able to keep going. Stiff arms Asante Samuel Jr., and Denver is on top late in this ball game. The Chargers now hoping for basically a miracle. From the 28-yard line, Herbert looks to throw it, and there's another dropped interception. How fitting. Patrick Surtain unable to corral that one in. 3rd and 10 now with 8 seconds to go. We're going to go full prevent defense. Quick throw, broken up. Another dropped interception, this time by Savon Revel. 4th and 10 at the 28. This will be the final play of regulation. Denver looking for a 2-game win streak. Herbert has time. Denver rushes 3. They send back 8. Herbert's throw deep downfield, tipped and incomplete. And the Broncos come to Los Angeles and knock off the Chargers. 28-21 with a 78-yard touchdown at the end by Savion Williams to win this game for the Broncos. It wasn't always pretty, but we were able to get the job done. I think defensively, we did a really good job for the most part. Again, the Chargers' only touchdowns were 2 big plays, and then that last drive. I thought our offense played well after a slow start in the first quarter. Now, we still have some things to clean up. We turned the ball over 3 times. That's unacceptable. And normally, when we turn the ball over 3 times and the other team doesn't turn it over at all, you'd think the team of 0 turnovers is going to win the game. So because of that, we deserve a lot of credit for still being able to hang on despite the turnover differential. Although really, the Chargers should have had some offensive turnovers of their own. Justin Herbert kept throwing it to the other team. As for Bo Nix, I thought he played a pretty good game. 3 touchdowns, including the one at the end of Williams. And then Herbert, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The numbers look good, but we saw the drop picks. Big game for Ashton Jeanty. It's a shame he got hurt. Hopefully not a long-term injury. The drops were a problem. We had 5. Although Tez Johnson played well, Reynolds and Franklin each had some solid gains. And then, of course, Savion Williams with the game winner. The offensive line was not horrible, I guess. And then the defense, again, 2 sacks for Michael Williams. Browning continuing to ball out. Benito had 6 tackles. I think 3 or 4 of them were on kickoff coverage. I don't know why he's out there on special teams, but he was playing really well there as well. So let's talk about this new injury we have. It's for Ashton Jeanty. And unfortunately, our worst fears came true. Torn pectoral, will miss the rest of the season. Be right back. I'm going to go cry myself to sleep. This sucks. Along with being one of the most fun players on our team this year, Ashton Jeanty has also been one of the best. Coming in as a second rounder, it has taken him no time to get himself acclimated into this offense, and he has been a budding superstar. He's been averaging 80 scrimmage yards per game. He would have been on pace for around 18 touchdowns. But unfortunately, his standout rookie season comes to a close, and we're going to have to find a way to replace him. Now, luckily, Javonte Williams and Marvin Mims will be back this week. But even so, we're going to be missing the explosiveness that Jeanty brings to the table. So with Javonte Williams back, he's going to be the lead ball carrier. We're going to see a lot of Harrison Whaley, though. He's had some really good moments through 3 weeks, but also some really bad ones. I still feel like we might need to add a veteran through free agency, and we're going to do that here in the bye week. We're going to assess our options, though. Do we want to go with the veteran or maybe a younger guy who's on a practice squad? We've got some youth in the backfield already, but we also have some veterans with Javonte Williams returning as the Jets lose to the Saints. And that means, as of right now, our Denver Broncos do have the #1 pick. Players of the week, my glorious knight in shining armor, Jared Goff, is joined by Josh Allen, Levante David, and Kenneth Murray. With a storyline message here with our offensive coordinator, I would think he's going to talk to us about the running back situation, but instead it's just about a team meeting here during the bye week. And during this team meeting, the team is going to talk about how they want to use our slot receiver more, which is a little bit odd because Tez Johnson, who's been playing in the slot, is our leading receiver. So Bo Nix's solution is that we get Josh Reynolds more catches for the rest of the year. Bo, I hate to break it to you, brother, but Josh Allen is not our slot receiver. I think we're going to promise 3 catches per game instead of 4. With Marvin Mims back, I think Reynolds might be 4th on the pecking order, so I don't want to make a big promise for him because I don't know what his role is going to look like. Here in the bye week, we will officially put Ashton Jeanty on injured reserve, ending his season. And in free agency, I think I'm going to go with Zamir White. Again, I wanted to get a guy in here during the bye week so he can learn the playbook. White played really well against us in both times that we played against the Raiders. Obviously, they replaced him with Devin Neal, and that's been a good move. But I've always liked Zamir White, and I think with a reserve role, he could be pretty good. Around the rest of the NFL here in Week 10, the Jets get slaughtered by the Bills. They are 1-9. The Titans won again. That's good news. Players of the week, Kyler Murray, Josh Allen again, Marshawn Lattimore, and Jelani Salami. That'll bring us into Week 11. We are headed to the Link, facing off against the Eagles. Both teams 4-5. Both teams needing a win for their playoff hopes. And we've also got another prospect profile. We'll be going over the running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends in this class. And through 9 weeks, it's been very clear that this team needs more skill position players. We need some more juice on offense, especially at wide receiver. So these are definitely going to be position groups that we're going to be looking at in this year's draft. So I'm excited to dive deep into them along with this mock draft number 2 because, of course, we do have the #1 pick. And I'm curious to see what Madden thinks we would do with that top pick as of now. So that'll wrap up the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out. Broncos country. Let's ride.